consumed a dairy product, such as cheese, milk, or ice cream, you might want to know exactly where it came from. Of course it came from cows, but what did it take to get the milk from the cows? These days, milking cattle has become much easier. The dairy industry has been evolving over the years. We have went from milking the cattle by hand to now, when the cattle can basically milk themselves. Robotic milking technology has made milking cattle much more efficient. You don't need to be around to milk your cows. They can milk themselves in these machines, which clears up time for field work and for you to work on your herd health and other things and other activities that you would like to do with your family or any other time on your hands. You won't need to hire help, and hired help can be hard to find on farms, so this eliminates that process, and then you don't have to pay for them, so it saves you money, and it also eliminates human errors, which we often make. These robotic milking systems give you updates on when to breed your cattle, when and if you need to treat your cattle, and it sends you text messages for certain smartphones that can link to these systems, and it alerts you and gives you a text message if anything is wrong with your milking system. So the cattle basically milk themselves. If they want to eat food, they have to go in to be milked first and then walk to the proper feeding area. A cow knows when she needs to be milked, like we know when we need to go to the bathroom. She can feel the pressure building up on her udder, and it feels very uncomfortable. So she goes to the robot, into the machine, to relieve herself. The process of milking is first she gets a pre-spray, then the teacups line up, and then she gets sprayed again after she's done being milked. The pre-spray that goes on her teats reassures that there's no debris that goes into the milk that you drink, and that the milk and the teats are clean when they come out. The milking teacups line up with lasers, and it adjusts to the teats, and if it doesn't make it right away, then it realigns and tries again until it lines up. The post-spray is so that it makes sure that the teat is all the way sealed up, so that no bacteria gets into the udder, which could cause major health issues, including diseases and infections. This whole milking process reassures that there are smooth transitions in your milking. When the cattle move out of the milking system, they're able to walk to the next part of the barn to eat. So these milking systems have a lot of accessories, and one of their major ones is feeding modules. So they're sort of like self-feeders. So after she's done being milked, she goes to eat food, and the food is based on whatever the cow's milk production is. So it scans her ear tag just like in the milking system, and it can identify what the cow is, and it brings up all of her statistics of her milking production. And it gives her food for a certain amount of time so that she can consume all of her meal, and making the whole process faster and more efficient. Another accessory that they have is a milk tester. It can detect mastitis and its somatic cell count. Somatic cell count is a basic indicator of milk quality and is able to tell you if your cow has mastitis or not. Mastitis is the inflammation of the mammary gland and udder tissue, and is one of the most common diseases in milking cattle today. If your cow has mastitis or is being treated for mastitis, her milk cannot go into the bulk tank to be sold. Some people could be allergic to the medications that you administer to your cows, which could then be consumed by humans, which could cause allergic reactions and sicknesses. With all of these revolutionary technologies, it is giving us a new perspective on agriculture. Now that we have new technology, it creates more interest for people and more jobs and more interest in farming because it's easier. You don't have to milk the cows, you don't have to feed your cattle, and it eliminates human error that is also possible, which reassures a smooth business. These milking systems are much more efficient than the old way of milking. Most of us consume dairy products that are derived from these sort of machines on a daily basis.